Good morning out there, traders. It is May 16th, 2024. Welcome to the Apteros Daily Market Insight. So the recap's going to be pretty straightforward here. We had a line in the sand with a bullish bias, and that was really the main idea out into this main target zone here. We didn't end up seeing a solid pullback out of this area from the early news catalyst there, and the market really just kind of stabilized here a little bit into the open, kind of feigned some weakness, as it were, and then just really straight out of that zone right into the target area. So not much for us to do in terms of trade opportunity or pullback or anything like that. Um, this happens. It can, with a catalyst in play, price action can do some crazy things, and that's kind of what we ended up seeing yesterday. So now taking a look at what we have going on today, it's a little bit more straightforward. We have our bullish bias is still intact, but we have a pretty straightforward line in the sand for the session as well. First, I'm going to talk about this neutral area up above here. This neutral zone is a little bit more of as a short-term determinant for the down and upside, really, mainly because if we hold below this neutral area here, a pullback starts to get more likely, especially if we start pressing into and getting below this area here on the price action. So the pullback scenario is available to us as long as this neutral zone doesn't really break to the upside. Now, if the neutral zone does break to the upside, it's grinding all-time highs, and that's the scenario that you find yourself in, where if we hold up above this zone here, it could just be very short-term and start stabilizing. It could just go straight up. We're not in the business of predicting what the market's going to do. We're in the business of analyzing the what is picture in the context and the narrative. The context and narrative are bullish. This neutral zone, however, is a nice hinge for us to use for how bullish we really are. If we're holding up above this neutral area, we're pretty bullish in the sense that we're going to be at all-time highs and possibly grinding to the upside. This is the overall destination that we have kind of in place with our references. It's way out there, but anything's possible in the analysis because we don't predict how something's going to happen, right? We just trade what is. So with what's going on here, this neutral area, like I said, is a nice kind of pivot for whether or not we're in grindy mode at all-time highs or we are maybe in a little bit more of a value auctioning process if we come back in below that. Now, with that kind of being covered around that neutral zone, what we can end up seeing here is a push down into our line in the sand where the expectations are fairly straightforward. Scenario one is a hold of that area, possible, turn at that point, and this neutral zone would kind of be the overall destination at the beginning of that, and of course a continuation higher possible from there as well. If we end up seeing scenario two from that line in the sand, we get a full breakdown. In the short term, we'd be looking at a bearish opportunity there, a little bit more scalpy in nature because of the overall bullishness of this market. But it would be a very, short-term type of bearish situation to take advantage of for the day. And then possible, target down below here where we'd be looking for the overall destination at that point. So that's really the breakdown of the two scenarios there with the neutral zone kind of explained. The reality is that, there's some open space here, so the market could easily do some back and forth, some trading and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, we're not predicting what's going to happen. We're analyzing what is the contextual narrative picture that we're sitting with in the morning and prepping for trade opportunities. Trade well, mind your risk, and have a great trading day.